don't really hear much about. It's not the glow up. It's not that polished after photo. It's that space in between. That's what I'm calling like the edge of evolution, where you're starting to outgrow the current version of you and you're becoming someone else, but you haven't like quite fully landed in who you're becoming. And I know that often we see like the highlight reel of like, oh my gosh, I had this like identity shift and this is where I am now and these are all the things that have happened. So it's really more like the highlight reel. But what we don't typically see is like that messy middle, right? That integration season, that space between who you were and who you're becoming and who you became, right? The between identities. And if you're a high capacity leader or woman, it can be even harder because maybe you're an executive or you have this like illustrious career or a business, you're holding clients, you're working on projects, and you're still being seen and you're known for like who you have been, but inside you're going through this like shedding process. It really is like this recalibration because there's this future you that you're becoming. And I mean, I'm 51 years old. I have reinvented personally and professionally so many times, from, you know, even being married and then going to divorced, or having a 7-figure retail business and then going bankrupt. Like that was a whole reinvention. Climbing the corporate ladder, becoming an executive, dropping out of corporate, going from executive to consultant, right? From consultant to brand agency owner. Like these are my reinventions. Like think of yours. Going from a branding, you know, I'm the owner of a branding agency, then being like a 7-figure coach, and then just even this last year, like think of all the reinventions. And for me in this particular season, this reinvention, it just feels really different. For me, it's not the same kind of pivot, because for me, it's not about knowing. This is the first time when it's really about feeling. It's actually like, for me, this reinvention has been a priestess portal. It's very soul-led. And I'm not just shifting my offers in my business, but how I hold myself, like who I'm being moment to moment. And I'm not only inviting you to witness it, but also walk your path, right? Like, let's do this all together, because maybe you feel this too. You're showing up, you're still leading, you're still delivering, and the career or business, you've built it. You have clients that you've served, you have a persona that you've created. It's very polished, people envy it, but it's no longer a match for you. And it can feel really stretchy because you've attained this level of success and other people are like, gosh, I wish I had what you had, right? And then you're like, yeah, it's great and all, but there's like something that's misaligned. And if you're anything like me, just like even the letting go and the shedding process of realignment and like the clients that you had, and you maybe feel like guilty or some kind of like way about leaving them, and the whole shifting process, like it really is an unveiling, and it can feel stretchy. Dare I say, there are moments where you're like, because you know that you're meant for more. Like deep down, you're like, I know there's more for me. But sometimes when you're in this process of the middle, you can't, there's no map, so you can't quite see it yet, right? And so you have to kind of like process through it. You feel it, but you can't see it. In your head, you don't know it, but like you know it here, like deep down in your heart. And sometimes it's clear. You're like, today I know exactly what I'm doing and where I'm going. And then the next moment you're like, wait a minute, what happened? Why is it suddenly like unclear to me again? And maybe sometimes you know it, but then like when you try to articulate it and speak it, when you're in these transitions, you're like, I know it, but I can't exactly language it. And if that's the space that you're in, I just want you to know, I get it so incredibly deeply. This is a very special and a very sacred space. You're really in that liminal space, in the in-between, right? And we don't really hear a lot of conversations around this. Again, we mostly hear about the glow up, the aftermath. And it's not always going to be rainbows and unicorns. You know, like there are parts that are so, like if you're going to live a fulfilling life, it's going to be so deep, and not every moment is going to be all glittery. There are some really deep, there's like deep work and healing and shifts that we're doing and have to dive into. And sometimes, honestly, sometimes it's like, this feels like I'm in the dark. But the darkness is so incredible, because when you're in the darkness, if you're just allowing yourself to center, it's like you can create anything, right? Because you can't see it yet. Light allows you to see, and so there's more specificity around it. Dark is like anything can emerge from that. And I know that sometimes, like when we're in that darkness, it's also when we meet ourselves. Like we really discover our strength. And I've been really fortunate going through this process to have mentors and to have friends really go through this expansion and like witness it. But recently I've just been like, I want to grow this conversation. I want to like expand it, take it into community. And so I'm so excited. I'm doing something in a couple weeks that I've never done before. I am going to do a 3-day live event. It's free, and it's going to be called The Edge of Evolution. And 2 of the days are going to be this very immersive experience, because maybe where you are now, you don't need to actually burn everything down for your next evolution, or maybe you do, you know, like there's all kinds of ways that it goes. Maybe it does resonate just to like, you know, burn it all down. But the edge of evolution, it's really about you and this beautiful process of the in-between and following and discovering your path. It's a space where it's not even just like a masterclass. It's really more of a sanctuary, right? A place where the unraveling is really honored, because that unraveling, it's like, instead of being all tight, it's like allowing you to just loosen up. And it's going to be such a potent and such a beautiful space. I know sometimes our human mind can play tricks on us where we're like, oh my gosh, you know, like I'm going through this like reinvention. It feels like everything is falling apart. And on another timeline, everything is actually falling into place for you, and everything is coming exactly as it's meant to come. And deep down, you know that this next level is coming for you. Like, you know it. It's absolutely fucking inevitable that you're gonna start living at this whole new level, this whole new octave, right? The level where you're not performing and you're not proving, you're actually like embodying your soul codes, what you are meant to do. And I know we hear this word embodiment, and it's like, we hear it all the time, and like, what does that even mean? But it's like, you're not living from pretense. You don't have this mask where you're like faking and pretending and doing what you should do, right? Embodiment is when you're in full alignment, living from your truth, from here, from an like an embodiment, and you're expressing yourself and allowing yourself permission, right? It's like permission to receive, permission to be vulnerable, permission to speak your truth, permission to fully connect and feel safe in that connection, not just with other people, but with ourselves, like the person that we need to be centering with the most. So the edge of evolution, it's going to be free, it's going to be potent, it's going to be the best goddamn work that I have shared to date. We're going to start on May 14th. If for any reason you see this after the fact, there will be a replay, but we're going to have 2 juicy, deep days together, really exploring this transitional space. And if you want to, there's going to be a 3rd VIP day where you can join me for some really delicious integration, coaching. I know a lot of people call it hot seat coaching. I like to think of it more like spotlight coaching. I'm going to be filling the space with Reiki. It's going to be incredible, like us really just calibrating to one another. So if this is something that's interesting to you, you can come join us. You don't need more information. You don't need more. It's actually for you a process of letting go and revealing. You need a space to listen, to feel into what's really rising for you. I know like sometimes we can feel like there's something wrong, or maybe there's something broken. It's all part of the, like, we all go through these spaces. You're in that sacred stretch between who you've been and who you're becoming. And I am so honored to be walking with you. I'm in your corner. Bye.